morning. Welcome to ENBC, bringing you the latest in news. Today we have for you the recent events of Macomb County, Alabama, including a random house fire and the trial of Tom Robinson, a black man accused of rape. Later we will explain the movements of ISIS. All this will be after a short break, so don't change the channel. Brought to you by Robles Publishing. Publishing since 2015. Are you too lazy? Does TV take up way too much of your time? Have you given up on finishing your last-minute report? Well, don't worry. Because there is Robles Publishing. We've been successfully publishing for 3 days and have had a successful client. We have a top-of-the-line employee and a state-of-the-art tools. Don't wait. Call the number at the bottom of your screen right now. Say it with me. 1-800-ROBLESS. 1-800-ROBLESS. We'll create the iMovie of your dreams. If you call right now, we will give you a discount of 2 iMovies. Wow, that is a great deal. Don't miss out on this deal. Call right now. 1-800-ROBLESS for Robles Publishing. Remember, this discount only lasts for so long, so call right now. Not valid Monday through Friday, closed Saturday and Sunday, so call right now. Welcome back to ENBC. So, let's start off with some recent news from Macomb County, Alabama. A random house fire started just a few hours ago and was fortunately recently put out like about an hour ago. Here's some live coverage made by an anonymous person on the sidewalk. Wow. Anyways, the owner, Miss Mowdy, states that it might have been caused by something she left on in the middle of the night to keep her plants warm. She states that she loves her house burning down, which is kind of weird. Anyways, so let's move on to the trial of Tom Robinson. Tom Robinson is a black man who is another person from Macomb County, Alabama. He was recently accused of raping a girl named Mayella Ewell, and her father pressed charges. You may all be seated. Tom Robinson, after you have sworn on the Bible, please explain to us your share of the events. Now, Miss Mayella, it is your turn. Please swear on the Bible and then explain to us what exactly happened to you. How did the rape occur?
I asked that man to bust up a chaperone for me. And I had to ask him to do this a few times, but this time, while I was flowering my marigold, he snuck up behind me and starts rutting on me. He kept yelling at me. Finally, he hit me in the side and bruised it. Good thing my pa was there to save me.
That's enough. Your Honor. Yes, the court recognizes Mr. Atticus Finch. Mr. Finch, please go on. Your Honor, the physical appearance of Miss Mayella Ewell does not match her story. She states that she was hit in this eye, yet Mr. Robinson is crippled on that side, and Mr. Ewell is dominant on that side. Taken. It is now time for the jury to make their decision. 100% guilty. Mr. Robinson, I'm afraid you are sentenced to 15 years in prison. Court adjourned. So yeah, that was the trial of Tom Robinson. Anyways, let's move on to the movements of ISIS. ISIS, which stands for the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, reportedly destroyed a 10th century Assyrian monastery located in St. George and a Chaldean Catholic seminary located in Mosul the 10th of March. Speaking of Mosul, on the 11th of March, ISIL, which is another name for ISIS, threatened on loudspeakers to behead any civilian that dared to evacuate the city. This announcement was made about a day after the U.S. dropped paper pamphlets to the city, warning the city of imminent military confrontation. On the 12th of March, the ISIL spokesman Abu Muhammad al-Adnani released an audio tape in which he welcomed the Pledge of Allegiance by ISIL made by Boko Haram and described it as the expansion of the group's caliphate into West Africa. The 15th of March, which was last Monday, fighting around the city of Tikrit led to the nearly complete destruction of the tomb of Saddam Hussein located in the city of Al-Auja. The former president's body had been moved from the mausoleum and taken to an unknown location last year, according to the Sunni population. And last Friday, on the 20th of March, ISIL took responsibility for the quadruple suicide bombing in Yemen, which caused the death of nearly 150 people. So yeah, that is the movements of ISIS. Anyways, that's all for me. Now moving on to the weather. Here's for you, Ishan. Thanks, man. I gotcha. The high of today is going to be 66, and the low will be 46, so bundle up. Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be partly cloudy like today, while Thursday and Friday will be sunny. The highest temperature of the week will be 86 on Friday, and the lowest will be today at 46 degrees Fahrenheit. Remember to stay hydrated, but also save water. Remember, we only have a year's worth of water left. That's all for me. Ishan, back to you, bruh. Alright, so now we are going to move on to sports. Today we're going to be focused on mainly cricket, but there will also be some other sports news, so don't worry. Anyways, the first semifinal match will be New Zealand versus South Africa, and the second one will be India versus Australia. Let's talk about the quarterfinals. It was not that close, so I can't say that. I'm sorry. So South Africa versus Sri Lanka. South Africa won by whopping 9 wickets. That's really sad, Sri Lanka. Anyways, in the second, India won by 109 runs against Bangladesh. In the third, Australia won by 6 wickets. And in the fourth, New Zealand won by 143 runs. In other sports news, the Pittsburgh Steelers re-signed O.L.B. Harrison for a 2-year contract. And in baseball news, David Ortiz won't be able to play for the Boston Red Sox his next game due to an illness. David Ortiz has been hitting about .267, which is 4 for 15, with 1 home run, 5 RBIs, and 2 walks in 6 spring games. This is his 3rd game in a row sitting out. So yeah, that's the sports news. Anyways, let's move on to the interview with Atticus Finch coming right up. And we're back. Alright, so now we move on to the one-on-one interview with Mr. Finch. Okay, so Mr. Finch, do you know what happened out there? Do you know why you received that verdict? This might not be the case, but I think it was because the defendant was black that that the verdict was made. Because the evidence was clearly stated, and it clearly pointed that the story was of the ULs were filled with holes. So, yeah, I think it was just because the defendant was black, and yeah, it's just that. That's why the verdict was given. Do you think the crowd would have agreed with the jury's decision? Do you feel as if they were in the jury's place, would they have agreed? Do you think if perhaps the trial would have been held somewhere up north, do you think the verdict would have come out different? Do you actually think Tom Robinson would have been proven innocent? Threatened on loudspeaker to behead